We gather in the sunlight, many faces, one white sky, books open on the table, ancient stories in our eyes. From the village to the city, from the river to the shore, every question is a doorway, every mind can open doors. We are learning today to lead tomorrow.
Hey there, community leaders. Imagine a world where every community thrives, where each individual has a voice and every effort creates a lasting impact. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's time to turn that dream into reality. Welcome to the Global Community Engagement Forum, your gateway to becoming a true changemaker. Think about the power of one community leader. That's you. Now, imagine harnessing that power on a global scale, alongside like-minded individuals who are just as passionate and driven. The possibilities are endless. This forum isn't just another meeting. It's a mission to engage, empower, and elevate communities all around the world. You'll gain
Okay, okay. We want to say a little welcome here at the forum. We want to welcome you. That Brother Dempster was on earlier. He's trying to adjust himself. Want to welcome you again to Partnership Forum, and I want to say welcome for those of us who are probably viewing wherever you're viewing from. We're here today as part of our routine and the monthly, and we have guests with our board of advisors and one or two persons coming in. We're going to be discussing today partnership, the benefit of partnership, and networking, and how it has to do with the SDGs 2030. Now, if you look at the SDG 2030, then you ask yourself the question: where are we? As I discussed in the book, the essence of human rights, those 17 SDGs pillars. What are we going to be discussing today? It has to do with fulfillment, in fulfillment of those 17 uh, pillars of SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. But not even to take you further today, as we look at the forum, we stepping up, and I believe that not only that we are coming together to make a change in our society. There can be no fulfillment there can be no progress in the absence of people coming together as one people, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, uh, who you belong to. The thing about partnership and networking is more than just saying, okay, we can do it, I can do it, or without this person, or probably, without this person, we can make a difference in what we're doing. But it's not just with all this person, or with all this person, or with this person. It's all about uh, working it out together. Because I tell you what, the truth is that we as civil society leaders and people who are partners, people coming with a different expertise. And well, whether you come from the west, the east, the north, when it comes to your part, what part you have to play in developing what you're developing. It's been years we've been on this mountain, and sometimes I tell people, I say, yes, it doesn't matter how long you've been in the civil society. It's all about what are you doing, or what have you been doing with what God told you to do, or how you feel. Okay, while you are in uh, this part of the world, or probably in Liberia, in West Africa, or Germany, wherever you are, what are you doing? And so today, as we discuss the partnership and networking, it's a benefit, a beneficiary actually, when it comes to uh, working together to fulfill our goals. And no matter how we can try to do it alone, it sometimes, and most of the time, seems to be very difficult to fulfill our God-given assignment. And I want to encourage somebody listening to me today, and as we talk about partnership, I want it to be in that uh, that part of where we're talking about the SDGs, because when you see the robots and other things that is coming, decent work, how do we expect job opportunity in the next years to come in fulfillment of the SDGs? How do we fulfill the SDGs in 2030 when children are being out there in the bushes by people who decide to do it? So it's kind of it's a broader topic, and why we discuss and first introducing ourselves, especially to the forum, making everything to be where it is. I think the problem is not probably organization, it's about individual. Because if we can put our broken pieces together as individual, that means we have a passion to do it. No one should stop us. There should be no barrier, no hindrance. There should be no wall between we and the people who we want to serve. So, I think the engagement part of it is that we are not working it out because people are not there, but because, people are not probably responding to the call. Sometimes people don't respond to the call, and the call may be kind of difficult to answer, or probably maybe the call would be something that all of us cannot really come up to, or the tax is dead and we're trying to make our way out. So I want to encourage somebody this morning, or wherever you are. We are we are here, and it's all about where we are going. What is the next 2 years, 1 year, 3 years? What are we anticipating? Our reach goals, and our goals is not, and we should not be limited to, well, just our organization. We can fulfill if we leave the community out, we leave the people who talk to, who are responsible to make things happen. And well, it's not happening because, well, we are not playing our role. So today, as we talk about partnership, and we have in our currently we have one of our brother here, who is we're talking about Akron in human rights. Probably he had been in the area for many years, and actually been worked together. Then looking back on the human rights advocacy platform that was initiated by recommendation of the United Nations mission in Liberia at the time they were kicking up. But one of the things that I learned is expertise in the area of human rights and having to be serving, being actually selected to serve on the senior advisory board at the forum. So I want to welcome him and today as we discuss this very interesting topic, partnership and networking as it has to do with these SDGs. Brother Dempster, you are welcome. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you very well, Reverend. I'm so thrilled. I'm blessed to be connected again. I mean, I stopped by shortly in New Jersey, but we couldn't catch up because the
Yeah.
schedule was so tight. Yeah, but I'm glad to be on the team as usual. As always, we share the same vision. We stand for humanity. We want to see the life of our people improve. And I mean, just beyond borders. So the fact that you invited me to work, to continue to work with you on these issues, to help to change, contribute to our societies. I'm happy to be part of this great team, and I look forward to work with our colleagues to help the world in a different way. So I want to say thank you so much for being part of this forum.
Oh, thank you, brother. We definitely are all in together. Like you said, I always say that there can be no way we can fulfill, especially this SDGs 2030, or even
Yeah,
closer to it. It cannot even from the family level,
yeah,
community level. We have to partner, network. In other words, to agree to fulfill this 2030. But where we are, we also have with us um, the Dr. Smully. Are you there? Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello.
Oh, welcome. And I just want to welcome Dr. Smiley. We actually here today. If you know her, tomorrow she's going to be on the show, Coffee with Dr. Smiley. But let's talk about how do we see it. Introducing yourself today, being on panel, the senior advisor on trade and investment, looking at some of the things that the challenges in the world when it comes to the SDG 2030. What can you say? What your expectations when it comes to the working relationship?
Well, greetings and thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. It's always been a privilege, no matter what. And I always remain grounded, no matter where, what, and which platform. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, viewers. Keep watching, Coffee with Dr. Smiley as well. And yes, I'm here talking about certain things. What are our expectations? We all are human beings, and expectation is something we all have. But however, the world is all about us. So what we need to expect is what we expect from ourselves. If we talk about that, then we have to be deeply grounded to who we are. What and the amount of work we are doing, that would give an outcome of expectation in and around. So I would rather put it in this way. I mean, this is my perspective, what I like to say and all. And over and above, what I see is that it's just a visualization and it's a strategy. And when we talk about and think about what we are doing, who we are, what are we contributing, so the returns are in abundance. I hope that makes sense.
I just I want to add my voice. You know, is contributing to society, and like you said, you know, adding our voices. You know, here at the forum, we believe that everyone has something to say, probably to do, no matter where you find yourself. We believe even down to the only little man, right, in our community. So, you know, our connection. I speak in terms of connection and network. It has to do with expertise, and I don't know where Denzel is going to connect me. I don't know where Dr. Smiley is going to connect me. I don't know where Denzel is going to, what advice, what good that he has, that I know his expertise, and that's why he's on this about to revolt. Networking is just in a way that I see it to be more than just coming on the show or probably coming on the board. It's more than you know, making us to be able to fulfill our dream. Like Ria has very great expertise in the area that she be serving, and you see Doctors Shirley who is on the board. All of us have something. Dr. Agnes from Liberia, and the rest of the guys. So I see this whole thing as not just appearing on the show, but uh, being able to make an impact. It could be Dr. Smiley would not give me money. Maybe of this person I'm not. I'm not looking at we're not looking at the money aspect only to say, well, let's come together. We are looking at the broader sense of how can we connect to change that narrative and you know the things that we're supposed to do. In other words, to end whatever we have to do to destroy that barrier. There is a barrier. There is a wall that civil society cannot fulfill because sometimes we got so close to the duty bearer or probably maybe the people that we should be acting for. So networking, those of us who are listening, we're at the forum, we're talking about the networking aspect and partnershiping, and then how can we fulfill the 2030 SDGs. Now, I want to go to Brother Dempster. Brother Dempster, what do you think? You know, every one of this forum will have some time to give some highlight when it comes to partnership and networking. How do you think, looking at 2030, this decent work, hunger, everything we talk about, the 17 pillars, what do you think where we are and how can we achieve this uh, at the forum level in the community? What do you think? What are some of the things that we expect?
Okay. So I mean, thank you so much, and I'm glad to join Dr. Shirley. Dr. Shirley, glad to meet you, and of course, I think this is our first, connect, and I trust that this partnership will take us further. That we will be able to engage more broadly on common issues as well, and then share both academic, professional experience, and of course allow us to work together because humanity is just one place that we all find ourselves. Whatever little way we can contribute is something that is on us, and I look forward to engaging more positive ways. So glad to meet you, glad to be connected with you. But going back to the subject of investment, the first of all, networking allow us to connect, and so this is the first networking practical, display that we have here right now with people like Dr. Shirley, and of course our other colleague who will be joining us. So network allow us to have common understanding on issues. We have to know what do we want to network around, because if we don't have that connection and then the ideology, the sense, and of course the subject on which we want to connect, we want to network, it makes it difficult because there are different issues that the world they're faced with. There are different area of intervention. So for us coming together on this platform, through networking, it allow us to know what are those issues that we want to work around to help humanity in different ways. So networking is a broad, concept, it's a broad principles, but we have to narrow it down on issues. It have to be issues based, because when they're issue based, then we know what are the different professional experts that we have to bring around the table to network. But then, yes, with extension to partnership, there are key principles and layers that has to do with partnership. So when we talk about partnership, there are priority areas. We need to identify the priority areas that will allow us to partner. So if there are people who are academia, people who are working on education, there are other people who are working in different areas. There are people who are working on health issues. You know what I'm saying? So there are people who will be looking at the issue of infrastructure that has to do with development. What are those issues around infrastructure that we want to partnership, move the world in a positive way? But there are a lot of different countries like in Africa that are currently challenged when it comes to development. They have social issues, they have health issues, they have economic issues that need to be addressed. So, partnership in this context will allow us to navigate and identify a commonality on those issues that will bring us together to work together as a partner to address them or to seek support to address them. So, the issue of human rights and governance, what are the governance issues that are affecting the world? We need to look at that. No country right now is 100% peaceful. We know the United States, the Europe, there are war around, there are conflict around. How can we, as humanitarian, as philanthropists, as professionals in our different area, come together as partners to respond to some of these emergency? These are things that we want to look at in partnership. There are also benefits when it comes to partnership. There are a lot of benefits. How can we sustain or sustainability in partnership is also important. The issue about resilience. That is, if we want to partner, we got to be ready to move forward. In moving forward, we have to hold together to make sure that we do that. There are legitimacy in partnership, that allow us to come with credibility. We have to trust each other to partner. So all of these are all important layers in partnership I want to talk about. They are global linkage. How can we convince somebody in Asia to also join our partnership? How can we get the whole of Africa to be a part of the partnership? Can we get the United Nations and ECOWAS and EU, the AU also come together to partner with us? It's possible because the network we are building right now on this identical community engagement allow us to speak to the United Nations, speak to friendly governments, speak to the EU and donors community. I think some of the benefits of partnership, allow us, the individual you bring together, to leverage their connections in their network to make sure that we grow stronger, we become more stronger to be able to respond to the world need. So I just wanted to put it that way, and it's that with that a sustained connection, a spine connection because it becomes globalization rather than just individual. So I just wanted to put that and we can continue the conversation.
UN and different partners. It has to do with first you have to unite, and you're talking about I wanted our full kind of promotion and some of the things we do talk about focus on is sustainability because I think there were many civil society even in our own setting in Liberia, in West Africa, and other part of the world. Many institutions died before 2 3 years, sometimes before they reach their 5 years. Why? Because there's nothing to sustain, no money, no loan, no there's nothing that we're talking about grants, especially Liberia and other African countries. So how when you talk about yes connecting to UN, that is those are all the reason for the connection. That it's partnership, and we cannot like for instance we cannot do it alone. We need one another. We need the guys right down there in the community. We need organization in order for us to do it. So sustainability, yes, I take that point. It's one of the things that will make us to be strong because it will rely on some partner that maybe duty bearers who would say, "Well, I gave you days, so don't talk again." I don't want you to talk. Just just so money go in the corner, and then why do people suffer? So our partnership, in other words, those of us who are listening, is that and the forum we believe that we can do it together. So that point, like Brother Dempster is stretching, especially when it comes to sustainability, working together with different international bodies, and that make us to have credibility. That's what we're building. An institution of resilience, yes, but with credibility, and then working together with to share the value together, share vision, expertise. We want to thank you, Brother Dempster, and we're coming back. Let look at Dr. Smalley. You've been in the area, you can talk trade and investment. There are times that people would think, well, civil society is not supposed to get in, anything um, when it comes to a business, and how can we looking at our own level as people and people coming from Africa with the mentality that we can only just get into something and think that it's going to happen. So, what is your advice with your expertise looking at the SDG? And we are 2026. We have 4 more years to go. What kind of thing you think about? Because when you talk about robot, people making robot to take the work to take the job, but 2030 is saying that there should be enough job. So what are some of the experts advising as you look at the world where the world is going right now?
Well, thank you. I mean, this is a wider way of on the floor to bring this discussion. All I can say in a very crisp and short manner is that no one can replace human being. Number one, no matter
Yeah,
how far we go. I mean, if that makes sense. For me, it
yeah,
does. Now, people are talking about artificial intelligence. Yes, I understand, but that's just an upgrade, which
yeah,
is just smoothening and ease up our process, our work, speeding up. It's a speedy technology, but at the backstage is our human mind.
yeah,
Robotic life can never replace the human creativity. We are born powerful with that mindset. No matter how much or where we go with our SDG 2030, what are we heading? Where is the world going around? We are all being suffocated. Oh, AI has taken our job. Oh, what's gonna happen next year? Are we stepping in? Oh, I might lose my chair as well. So these are the concepts which are coming in our mind because of the speedy technology. But the
yeah,
reality is, the reality, no one can replace human being. What human can do, no one else can do that. These are all our side benefits which we are getting. But in terms of human psychology, creativity, intelligence, strategic thoughts, implementation, execution, I don't think so.
hmm,
Speedy technology can take that place
yeah.
up. That's my way. It could be a debate. That's fine. But
Okay.
to me, no, no, no. Let's see
That's
what happens. Yes, no one. Even just for a simple example, people are talking about robotic surgery. Just an
yeah,
example. Okay, all right.
yeah,
And there are many patients. They are not comfortable for robotic surgery. It could be any. And it is very, very, very expensive than normal surgeries. It could be
Mm.
speedy, it could be, high tech, it could be, pretty well equipped, design, fabulous. It's totally in the different world. But many patients, not
Yeah.
just because they can't afford, just because of the reason, it's not by human doctor. Believe me, trust me, researchers have been proven that
Yeah.
many have declined. So my point is here, no matter how speedy we are, no one can replace human being. Believe me, trust me. I won't argue. I won't debate. I leave it on the floor.
You know, there's no need to argue when it comes to the replacement of human being divinely actually made by God, and then sometimes men want to to change that because maybe they have the power to change. But as we all talk about the entire thing that we all talking today, with all this technology, we would not be here. Why it is true, but
Yeah,
uh, what is on the level of this whole thing? Looking at the robot taking over 2030, and then 2030 is saying that we need job opportunity by 2030, and if actually they cannot and should not, but they're doing it because, well, that is the way the world is going. So my concern, Smiley, looking at trail, and they're saying it faster. They say that it's faster than human. I write this. I agree with you that no one can replace human. That is the fact. When I was looking at one of the robot on the roll, but it came down the step, but it fell. It fell. But if it were human that were driving it, it wouldn't have. I also look at the car that were driving with all a driver. Many times it caused traffic jam. So they're trying to find another solution to see why this car or driver is causing a problem, and then traffic jam. So looking at trade, I want to get back to you. And those of us who are listening, we're here at the forum talking about how do we partner on network in order to meet up with this SDG, the Sustainable Development Goals. And Dr. Smart is with me, and along with Brother Dexter Adama from Liberia, and they both of them are serving on the advisory board. But today, as we talk about it, what do you think, 2030, looking at trade, investment, non-profit organization, our business, looking at our own role to achieve this particular goal? What do you think trade has to do with this non-profit, no money, you don't have to make money with until you have grants? Okay, so what are some of the things you think on this level of an advice told the forum that we can actually do something when it comes to trail in order for us to sustain? What could be the best advice for
is
even
that
to
for
our
me?
listeners?
Is that
Yes,
for
yeah, for you, Dr. Smiley.
I think you wouldn't let me go
No,
because I bring the truth on the table. First thing first is that we have to sustain ourselves. No matter what we do, forget about the world.
yeah,
First, try to sustain ourselves. And
yeah,
I'm a person. I believe in walk a talk. I just don't talk. There's no point in talking. People talk a
that,
lot. It's a background noise for me. I'm sorry. But
that's right.
when I see the grassroots level, There is a community service. It's humanitarian work. It's real serving from the bottom of your heart. It's called an action.
Call in action.
And if we focus on those, many of the SDG goals could be settled. We all talk about SDG, but are we really following any of them? Let me ask you one question. It's good to give presentation, but are we really following? Unless we rule ourselves, discipline ourselves to follow that, there is no point in giving a long presentation, long lecture, long strategy, policy, planning, blah, 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 blah.
Mm. Mm.
Let's first stand ourselves as a role model. How many of you are really drilling with 20, 30, or whatever the SDG goals? My question on the floor, the will be very lean and thin. But for me, believe me, I trust myself
Yes.
first before I trust others. I mean, it's very hard nowadays. Sorry.
Yes.
So
Yes.
let's trust. Am I following SDG?
Yes.
I stand myself as a role model, and that's the reason I'm a global influencer, because I amplify my voice to the world. When I
Yeah.
go onto the platform, different platforms, they ask me to talk about. I said, forget about that. Let's talk about yourself. Be real you. How many of you follow the SDG goals? Let's talk about that. How many of you love to network? How many of you love to collaborate? It's not the question of signing agreement, MOU, and then blah, blah, blah. It should come from the bottom of your heart. Collaboration doesn't mean only the paperwork. Collaboration means when it comes deeply,
Mm.
deeply, when you are able to serve to the others. Others means community, neighborhood, any platforms. That should be the willingness. Nowadays is the materialistic world. People are only copying, compare, ego, hatred. Others are doing and pulling each other down. How many of we appreciate, promote, carry along, uplift, compliment? That's called collaboration. That's called networking. That's called, you know, a kind of promotional potentiality to grow. But it all comes from your own heart, how educative you are, and how much you gonna step in.
Mm.
So those are the basic, I mean, I wish I could go back those days
Mm.
in every schools and educational platforms. That first, the first textbook should be to teach to be human being, to sustain. And that
Yes.
way we can lead a better life with speedy SDG goals. I
Mm.
hope that makes sense.
Oh yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. And brother, let me a little bit highlight her, and then
Yeah,
I'm going to be talking to brother Dempster. But let's see. I look at the word sustain, and it's not about the long list of. Also got that point, which I know from my own experience. We have a lot of good things on the table, but the application is lacking. We can put the principles, we can say yes, we will achieve it. Even in Africa, in our own country, there are good the good thing on the laws, but to fulfill it is we, the human being, our practical public application and our passion. I think one of the things that as we partner, looking at the sustained part of the work we do in order for us to meet up with the sustained goal and our commitment to what we do. Trade, and bringing in different expertise and businesses that are connected to the organization, probably donating to the organization to sustain. Because I know that the first 2 years or 3 years, sometime with any institution, you're going to do a little struggling, but it depends on the networking and how you as an institution build your institution. So your point, I really got to, especially the practical aspect, writing down all the goals, everything. You can learn the long thing, but what are you? Are you serious? Are you committed? Do you have a passion to do it? So yes, I agree, Dr. Smiley, that we cannot fulfill without being together. We cannot fulfill without having a passion, and we can't just be looking at just the long list of of things that we want to do, or yet we are not committed to do it. So I want to thank you. Let me go to Brother Dexter quickly. Brother Dexter, you come serving on the ball as on in Africa the Fair, looking at the situation in different part of the world, where we are today. What do you think? That we as civil society leaders and Africa as a whole. What are some of the things that you anticipate, or with your own expertise, that bring us to where we're supposed to be going? Um, I want us to, we are looking at it as a team. Why you think Africa, where we are now, and where you think we're going to be within the next uh maybe 10 years or 5 years
So,
from now?
yeah, so I just before I yield in my points, I actually want to applaud Dr. Shirley for being so frank because we will not achieve anything on the SDGs when we don't commit ourselves, both individuals and institutions. So let it not always be a process of lecturing the word, but let us be more practical in what we want to see the word become. Because human suffering cannot be alleviated by lectures. It has to be practical.
Yeah,
When people are hungry, they are hungry. When people are sick, they are sick. You have to find the medicines, you have to find the food to feed them. That cannot be lectures. And this is where the world have found itself now. The world is challenged and continue
yeah,
to be challenged, despite there is a policy they call the SDGs. I don't think the SDGs is effectively working anymore because governments are changing, governments are proposing different ideas, beyond the SDGs. But one thing
mm,
I do know as a human rights professional, there is a slogan that was laid out when the SDG was crafted. That is, leave no one behind. Can
yeah.
we
Leave
say
no.
that, leave no one behind? Can we say that that slogan is actually being actualized? That we are not leaving people behind? Of course, there are a lot of communities and countries that are being left behind. When it comes to support, when it comes to development, there are selections of different countries. The way the countries in the West are treated, that's not how the countries in Africa are treated. If you go to Asia, that's not how it is. Go to
Mm,
India, go to other places, go to Sri Lanka. So they come to Africa. Can we compare the way life appraised us in Europe to that of Africa are the same? No. So we're saying leave no one behind. In what
yeah,
context are we saying? There is issue about technology. In Africa, there is technology gaps. You
yeah,
understand? Where you have 70% of the African population made of young people, youth. What the capacities these young people have? There is capacities gap. When it comes to unemployment, there is a huge gap in Africa. Maybe you go to Asia. So leaving no one behind means we should move our program, our support, our partnership in a way that we help every communities. But how can we measure the progress when it comes to leaving no one behind? It's very serious. We want to put it forward. But again, going back to the SDGs, I remember vividly when the SDG was being crafted, where the actors and the experts brought on the table, were they far-sighted to think ahead that AI was going to come to cut down some of what humans supposed to be doing? I
Hmm.
don't think so. Because we in Africa, we're not seeing any vehicle that is being driven by itself. You have to hire a driver to move a car. And even
Yeah.
the vehicles that are used in Africa, they are still manual vehicles as compared to how modern vehicles are in the West. So, I mean, I come to say that we have to be thinking beyond the SDGs now because there is limitation towards the implementation of the SDG because some of what the SDGs play out or lay out, they are updated. They are
Yeah.
not serving. They are not serving the human race. So we need to go beyond SDGs right now. We have a huge climate crisis right now. The climate crisis is getting more. There are erosions. There are deforestation. There are earthquakes that are taking place. What are the response mechanisms in dealing with the natural disasters that are coming on a daily basis? There are human layout disasters, but there are natural disasters that sometimes it does not inform you and then it happens. You find
Yeah.
out that there will be the different tsunami, there will be different earthquake, there will be different storm that will be taking place, and then it change your whole community. There will be flood that will come and move a whole society. There are hunger that are spreading across some part of Africa. Now in DRC, there are Ebola. The Ebola epidemic is taking place. People are dying from 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 illness. Unexpected illness is wiping away the whole community. So there's a whole lot about all now thinking beyond the SDGs. What our partnership? What can we adapt now under this partnership to speak differently to the world? Because the SDG is laid out, but the happiness of today is just above the SDGs. So our partnership should be identifying new mode of action, new medium of intervention, rather than just stay thinking behind. I think this is what we should be looking at. I'm aware, you are aware that the recessions around the world have actually undermined the United Nations strength. The strength of the United Nations is not the same as before. The United Nations don't have enough funding. In Liberia, where I sit, the
Yeah.
UN funding have drastically dropped. The UN are dropping. They are right now going all of power. So by that, because of funding gap, there are other international organizations that used to work in Liberia, some part of Africa, Sierra Leone. They are all leaving. And as I speak to you right now, the Swedish embassy in Liberia has closed and they have moved to Ukraine. There are other embassies and foreign missions that are also moving forward. So what do we say? The level of support the Swedish government was giving to Liberia, there has been a drastic reduction. And yeah, they are donor fatigue. We used to have the USAID. There is no more USAID that help in addressing issue of tuberculosis, towards healthcare program. All of these are no longer existing. So this partnership should start developing and start to narrow what are the new era of intervention that we can bring on the table to start engaging,
Yeah.
international friends, colleagues to be able to respond to some of the human need. These are things that I really want to put on the table. And of course,
Oh,
I say more.
Brother Dempster, you said it. You said it right. You hit the nail right on the head. And I really, as I look at the like the SDGs and what we're talking about, 2030, we cannot, why it is true, in the mind of the funder or probably it was I think it was in 2015 when they gathered to come with this idea that by 2030 we should be there should be no hunger should not be existing, or well in our children must be able to go to school. All time must have access to education. Everything within the 17. I agree. That's point. That's a very salient point. We should start developing our idea, engaging how now where the world is going, technology, and looking at AI. AI is taking over the world. And so looking at jobs and creations and some of the things that people might be left behind. So I want to thank you for that point, and myself looking at what can we do. Uh, like those of us who are listening, we are talking about not just within the forum. We're talking about the SDG 2030, where we are. How can we partner in order for us to make a change? So that brother Dempster, Adam, made a very salient point, especially when it comes to looking at new strategies. I think that one of the things I gathered from this discussion, especially when it comes to Africa, looking at different with challenges. Different group have left Liberia, even African countries that used to be present, and we do not funding. So once there's no funding, they can't achieve. So how can we? That's a big question. And then we're gonna be going by and talking about it, engaging on the forum. We actually coming up with the panel that will be actually selected by means of their own preparedness here that will be discussing these issues every week throughout as we begin to strengthen civil society to know that we can do it together. Also, thank you, Brother Dempster. We are coming almost to the close, and I want to get back Dr. Shelley I mean Dr. Smiley on this. Looking at what Brother Dempster said, you on the global street kind of stay on the bicycle on trail and investment. This whole thing about AI, and you just said it that it's not going to be possible to replace. But looking at what he's saying, and what will be our strategy, because it's already 2026, and well, it was not in the mind of the funders of the different partners with the Gallup on 2015 for this idea that by 2010, there should be no XYZ job, should be everywhere, food should be surplus, everything. Now we are 2026. What do you think? With strategic plan to work together as civil society and community at the community level, and then to different organizations. How do we partner in the area of trail investment sustainability? What could be the best idea that we could brainstorm?
Well, for me, is that one needs to keep himself or herself open minded, ready to serve,
Ready to
ready
serve.
to collaborate. For me, my mission is to bring the global visibility, collaboration. For example, today I am on your partnership forum platform because now having me in over here is opening windows for
Yeah,
other audience to
yeah,
connect. So that being said, this is the first step,
yeah,
is a proven that how are we partnering? How are we networking? How are
yeah,
we collaborating? So this gets multiplied and being spoken about. And people, when we share the links, our thoughts, our session, whatever we have discussed, it goes around. So that
yeah,
means it's a kind of a promotion. So partnership is a example or one phase of promoting.
yeah,
It's a self promotion. So people
yeah,
get to know, inquire. Hey, when is the next session? What is upcoming? So that means
yeah,
it's a kind of a partnership,
yeah.
collaboration. Hey, how can I be a part of? That means the willingness, that strategy of
Strategy.
overflowing information, promotion on the social media, getting it shared, multiple sharing
Yeah,
in the groups, amplifying your voice is all that makes a sense.
yeah,
All that makes a difference. And when your voice is being heard, but over and above, that willingness has to be there. if you don't have any passion, hey, I just want to be on the session I spoke about, blah, 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 blah. But then what? You disappear. So there is a pause. That means that's not your passion to collaborate. There is a difference.
Time.
You need
Yes.
to have to stop. You need to keep going. From today, 2%, 3% will come. The other person will come and join. Hey, that's a way of networking. That means we are collaborating, not in terms of profit or benefits, but in terms of serving. When we start serving, I always believe the God gives in abundance.
Yeah. In
The
about.
blessings come from abundance.
Hmm.
And that's my belief. I never look into the profit gaining.
Yeah.
What are my benefits? Hey, what's my benefit? I've given 1 hour. No, it's not me. But it's a materialistic world. People might be thinking that way, but not me. So, people mindset, mentality is all
Hmm.
that matters in order to keep growing in life.
Yeah.
We can only grow when we agree to promote. Today, I'm able to promote you. I'm able to promote your platform. I'm able to promote, if I'm able to spell the name, Dr. Dempster, right? Okay. I'm sorry if, I made some mistake. So I'm able to promote, I'm able to connect. But this connection, it, that's a bond.
Yeah.
That is my willingness. That means after the session over, okay, bye bye, thank you very much. No, it's not Dr. Smiley. The strategy should be you should keep that engagement on and keep appreciating, promoting, uplifting
Yeah.
whomsoever you have come into the network. That's a strategy to grow in abundance.
Yeah.
And when you do that willingness, you see from different aspects,
Yeah.
things are coming on your way, opening doors. Just pull the thread.
Yeah.
Those are the strategies one must, with passion, commitment, perseverance, that motivation should be there. And gratitude, which is nowadays, I'm very sorry, is missing out of the world. We forgot to be humble,
Yeah.
gratefulness. I always remain humble to every platform I go. Today, I remain humble to your platform. That means my willingness. I'm humble. I feel
Yeah.
grateful. I feel gratitude. Not that I'm looking at my time. What's my benefit?
Yeah.
So it's overall our mindset, our willingness to collaborate, network, partner, and to keep moving, keeping the bond.
Yeah. Keep moving. Keep the ball moving. Yes. Exactly. You have to look at not just the profit making. And sometimes people will say, well, in Africa, it's barely difficult to have volunteers because it's not like in the West. I agree with Brother Dexter when he said, well, looking at the equity or equality, when we talk about peace, justice, and equality, is it really applying to other nations? Is it applying to other people? People stay behind, and leaving one behind, that particular terms is not really applying, because you can see, look back in Nigeria, see, well, the leader would not care for the people, and every day people cry. So looking at the partnership and looking at the broader aspects of where we are, donors funding is not like before. There are other donors, for those of us who are in the forum. I understand. I may have opportunity. The connection here is not just about, well, okay, because Dr. Smiley is an expert, he got money, like get no, it's not only that, it's more than sharing ideas also, and making sure that an organization in Liberia that are partnering and they are part of what we're doing, or maybe they're not part, but our brothers in Africa then identify some of the problem. And then I have actually, I may come across something like a grant, and with our institution, with community engagement and other institutions in Canada, like Dr. Ree might recommend, and then say, "Oh, I see. We have some grants for institution that we have to be this the criteria." And I think this organization back in Liberia or in Ghana somewhere can read it right from there. We can put our time, and I think in that way, my expertise will say, okay, I can be able to write the grant, and I get 50%, or maybe on the level of what are some of these strategies? Because in partnershiping, I bring the tools. I understand. I can do research to look up for grants in Africa. Maybe the other brother knows somebody. Dr. Smiley knows somebody at the probably maybe one of these business sections that she held, and then so Dr. Smiley would say, okay, let me see what we can do in order for this thing to be successful. So I think everything we're doing, those of us who are listening, we're talking about partnership and kind of networking. It has to do with expertise that comes together to understand that we have a common goal. We can achieve this, despite maybe the UN does not have money again to support. What are those things that you think, Brother Dempster, that you think, as we conclude? What are those things? Because for me, I look at that aspect to be like,
Yeah.
I have an expertise, and my expertise is, well, okay, I can say I can do research and have more than 5 grants, and that is for Africans. And so what should I do? Oh, okay, Brother Dempster know some institution back to say, okay, but what are the credibility that Brother Dempster have in those institutions, that if the recommendation are made and they have the grant, what are the MOU that was signed? What are some of those things that we can do in order to begin to have institutions be the power, despite that the big institutions like you and other are not are going out of funding. What do you think
So,
when it comes to the forum? Brother Dempster, what are some of those things that you think about
so,
bringing our different expertise together?
I mean, I, I will stay you back to Dr. Solly, you know, passionate, presentations or points that she keeps making about working together. Work cannot move when we don't work together.
Yeah,
That's why I admire what she said, that nothing can replace human being, because the role of human being cannot be replaced by any artificial, machine. Because when there is a loss of electricity, most of the artificial machine will be shut down.
yeah,
Humans will still be moving around.
yeah,
When there is erosion of floor, most of the artificial machine will not function. Humans will still moving around. So the artificial machine may not be able to grow the food. When it comes to agriculture, we want to
yeah,
address food security. The issue of food security is paramount, because you go back to the SDGs, fighting hunger. But yet, since 2015 up to now, people are still going to bed hungry in other places. So the slogan of leaving no one behind is still under question.
yeah,
Do you understand? So for me, I will quickly tell you that giving the swinging space with the drastic reduction of donors, including the UN itself that is being challenged, we want to use this partnership to engage government to be responsive. That one thing I
yeah,
want this partnership to
That
consider how
yeah.
can we engage the government to be
Hmm.
responsive to the people, to their responsibility, because countries do have natural resources. If those
Yeah.
natural resources are being exploited
Yeah.
to to make money, like in
Yeah.
other part of Africa, you have diamond, you have gold, a lot of different natural resources. Concessions are taking place.
Yeah.
Yes, what those funding should be directed to, the human interest, the need
Yes.
of the human being to improve the livelihood of the people. You understand? Rather than few group of people taking those money in a corrupt manner and then
Yeah.
enriching themselves. Because that's what happening. If the government and the people are responsive, they will direct the resources for the human interest, those things that affect the lives of the people to improve the life of the people. So under this partnership, I would tell you that we have to engage the government to be responsive and be committed to delivering on the warrant of what they are saying the government should be doing.
Yeah.
That is, the government have the capacity to reduce unemployment. They have
Hmm.
the capacity to build better health care for the country. They
Yeah.
have the capacity to improve education. But because there is always the belief and the mentality that donor community will always come and help.
Yeah.
The natural resources that are on the ground, they are being directed to individual politicians' pocket.
I'm
Those are
telling.
things we need to cut off. You understand? Because when the money are concentrated and rifled, utilized, it will help to reduce most of the insecurity, that the citizens are facing, people are facing on a daily basis. That's one aspect. Another aspect is that we, under this partnership, need to build strong institutions. Building strong institutions, that is, identifying institutions that have the leverage that we can work with to address most of the issues that we envisage, or most of the things that are out there, that are faced on a daily basis. But another aspect is that under this platform, we need to push for transparency and accountability,
Yeah.
because these are core values and an area that when it is not upheld, you cannot achieve anything in partnership. And I'm
Hmm.
very frank about that. And under
Yeah.
this partnership, we need to also adapt a method or a mechanism that has to do with inclusion.
Yeah.
Dr. Shirley said that working together, you
Yeah.
cannot isolate other people. You gotta find other experts, other people to connect so that we be able to build strong as an institution and a movement to be able to respond to the human needs, humanitarian crisis that is out there. And I also want to talk about in the partnership how we can build solidarity. Solidarity that is built on trust, that will make other people to come and join us, that will make us to also join other people to respond to the world need. Because the world right now is confronting and
Yeah.
confronted with a lot of different situations. I'm telling you right now, there are some communities because it's rainy season, there's flood that wipe the entire community out. You
Yeah.
don't have place to sleep, you don't have food to eat.
Hmm.
There are health related threats right now in the DRC. What's happening with the Ebola crisis right now? There were COVID-19 few years ago. So for every time there are new pandemic and new outbreak, yet they say we have a SDG. The frameworks of the SDGs, were they thinking ahead that there will be recession in 2026, 2025, 2026? There will be war in Ukraine. There will be hostility in Iran. The situation in Gaza, the state not being put under control. So this is a global partnership. So it does not only look like we're only looking at one side, but let's look
Yeah.
at it from a universal standpoint in terms of responding to the needs of the world. So
Yeah.
I would rather push that way that we need to think outside and beyond what the normal situation is. Because on a daily basis, there will be something new that will come up. Then we'll go back. issue of justice and accountability, rule of law. When we
Yeah.
do not have strong laws, it makes it difficult to achieve what we want to achieve. The
Yeah.
rule of law is what governs and guides every society. So when it's respected, it is promoted, it helps everyone to be equally held accountable, and then they enjoy their basic human rights. So these are areas that I want to put forward so that we can think
Wow.
about. Well, do not forget in engaging the government and the
Wow.
state because they
Wow.
have the responsibility to respond to the citizens, to respond to the human needs, while the humanitarian support that come as assistance to help beef up the government's own effort. Let the government not react on its responsibility, take up the money. We are aware of a lot of corruption that is taking place around us.
Yeah.
People are not held accountable for that, and they stay away from donut money to replace what they are taking for their personal gain. We need to
Hmm.
discourage. We need
That's
to stand
that's
against that. We need to be very firm if we want to achieve what we all are working towards in terms of helping the society, helping our people to alleviate poverty, to be strong on that.
hmm. Wow. Yeah, if to say you knew the section of the forum today and kicking off this new level of where we are at the community engagement when you said government, because you see the duty bearer, like you going other probably international donors and all that, and that was one of the point in our conclusion today that we're coming up to begin to emphasize on. And the forum, the meeting coming up in Liberia, the summit, which is the Shelter and Sustaining Summit. At the end of that summit, that is one of the things that is in the purpose of that summit, to submit to government petition, to petition the government as regards to what exactly Brother Dempsey is saying. And Brother Denzel said it. Oh, that is exactly where the entire world, civil society, partnershiping, everything we're doing, there where we are. The resources are there, Dr. Smalley. The resources are there. People try to shift the blame on international community alone. Is not giving fund again, but then they take the help resources and take it for themselves. Whereas it could be a portion. Thank God for the government, current government. We pray for more, thing to be done. But that is the point. We have a lot of concession agreement. Go back to setting society, I mean, or community in Liberia, well, where they take the resources from people live in poverty, but well, they take the resources from there. So I think one of the recommendations, holding government accountable, putting our feet down hard as civil society. Okay, and the summit, we're going to be talking more about it in our private sections, different meetings that is coming up. The summit, we got to partner. You see what they just said? Somebody will be saying, well, our community engagement get all the money, so let them look for the place. Our focus is, let's see what can we do. The first thing is, how can we get the venue, the place that we're going to be having the summit in Liberia. That is our focus, the meeting coming up in our discussion. So with what Dempster said in our conclusion, brother, Dr. Swallow, engaging government here at the forum, one of the things in the point of engagement, one of our main goal is to hold government accountable and to buttress government effort. That is what we're doing, buttressing. So, but government should also know that there's some they call subsidy, something that it can bring to subsidize the non-profit organization. Their budget, they are not put in budget. In other words, to subsidize, like in the state, the government have grants. So when he made the first statement about the point about equitable resources, it's not shared all over. It's not like in other sub countries. So what as we conclude today, one of the things that is on our focus is how we can work along with God, not bad mouthing government, no, but to hold government accountable, to tell government, look, this is where we are. Yeah, in the absence of well grant or whatever from different international body, what can you do as a government that you know civil society can depend on you, maybe 20%? Or what are you going to be contributing to this nonprofit every year? What are the grants that we have in different communities for in order for us to fulfill our goal? Despite these different institutions are going away, it doesn't should not make government to feel that well there's no money. Every time they will shake their head, but yet they are building different big houses in different countries. Now that's one point, and also I think that is where the forum, the partnership, because if we are to succeed, those of us who are listening, we can succeed if we just say, okay, let leave government, let we just here and government can do anything, let your rub shoulder with government, and then so myself say, okay, but man, let's get some bus, man, build our homes and get time and forget about the other guys. But when we come together and say, okay, government, we make the vote, our voice is heard. After the summit, we're presenting that petition to government. Let's take, for instance, the Human Rights Platform, Advocacy Platform Liberia, in partnership with other institutions, well, in Liberia, and Dr. Smiley, Dr. Ria, coming together to discuss how can we make this summit successful. Because that summit is going to make an impact. At the end of the summit, we are going to be presenting a petition to our government. And that's one of the things that in the conclusion of our forum today, we need to be looking at engagement, not going to be well let look for grant. Only if the grant is not, so let wait and forget about government. No, let begin to ask a strategic plan. How can we present to government to work along with government to make things happen? Thank you, President. So I think this is actually a wonderful time we have. And let me go to Dr. Smalley. Dr. Smalley, what do you take of this? Today I want to say, I guess, but if we're going to be more yet, we're going to be leaving here at 2 o'clock. I mean, around we'll be here until 9 o'clock. But again, I want to thank you, Brother Dempster, and for your your expertise and especially the level of time and what you have spent. It's not just about the name; it's about the practical work, and that is a very projection. That projection, and that idea, and the fact that civil society will not survive just waiting for grants. Government have to do something. Yeah, we will be talking more about it. That should be one of our key projections. And that's one because if grant or the grantee or donor fail, government money is always there every year that will be able to sustain. That makes civil society be strong. So we're going to be talking more about that. Says Smiley, we're closing. What could be your partner statement looking at your own organization? Because there's a partnership. How can people talk to you? How can people get to you and find you? Probably maybe somebody would watch this particular live, and that person may be able to on live. I'll call you. I'll call you. I'll call you back on live. Yeah. So probably that person may be able to to say, well, okay, Dr. Shirley, I want to tell me that Dr. Smalley, I want to talk to her. I listen to her. I really want to for my organization, or I have a problem in my community. What in your partner statement? How can you probably talk to somebody out there if they want to find you? How to do it?
Well, like I always mention, that Dr. Smiley is just a call away. Find me on my Facebook page, find me on my social media, touch base with me, and whatever is in my capacity, like I mentioned, connection building, collaboration, connectivity. I'm always open, and especially for women empowerment, for any initiativeness as a global, international global brand ambassador. I'm always championing. I'm always open. I'm always ready. I never look, for any benefit or something. So much I can do because in terms of when you connect with another organization, it's a kind of a growth and the funding, the investment. And in terms of
Yeah,
financial gain is always there. So it's
yeah.
Dr. Smiley is always and handful. So having me in connected is not only on the platform, but my voice amplifies and people generate leads and anyone can come and just get connect and get that very powerful benefit, rather I could put it this way, in various aspects.
Mm,
Connectivity in terms multiplies in fundraising, in any investment. You never know who is looking. Like I mentioned, the world is full of threads.
yeah.
So you never know which thread you pull, but you have to keep your vision open. You have to
Mm,
come up from your comfort zone. If you keep
yeah.
thinking, like I always say,
Sure.
dreaming is good,
Mm,
but start your action. It's good to dream, but where is the action? So stop dreaming. Start your action. When you start your action, that makes you a complete person. I'm not perfect. I'm also riding on bumpy road. Ups and downs are there in my business. So it is absolutely okay. So only thing is that positiveness and perseverance and ready to move, collaborate and get connect. You never know who is looking for what. It's a connection, investment, financial growth, and everybody, grow together. One step
mm.
at a time makes a difference. And willingness, positiveness, and perseverance is most important. And that's what I follow in life. And
Mm.
here I am today.
Wow. Thank you so much. Dr. Smiley, you had just hit in there right there. And once you said dream, we dream, right? I had a dream. I said, okay, one day I'll write the book. But I will keep talking. One day, one day, one day, one day. So dream with purpose. Then beside that, go towards your dream. One of the things I always tell people is not nobody, but a Dempster, no, nobody can tell you what to do except you move to do it because they're not going to encourage you, even if they could be closer to you. They're not going to encourage you. They have their own thing to do. They have their own thing to think about. Not that because they're jealous of you. No, sometimes everybody thinking about that different thing. So the thing is, like you said, you gotta go towards what you're doing. Like what we are saying here, what we've been doing. I would tell you, if I tell you there were not challenges, there are a lot of challenges. There will be always challenges, but those challenges are there to help you to be more stronger, because you will know that, oh yeah, I passed this path before and I know that, to get grant, it takes some time. So I gotta depend on, like we always thanking the Sis Jane, Jacqueline, people who gave little donations, why we are moving ahead. You got to move forward. Where you see the forum today, that's not it's not something that is just coming up. No, it's been long time. They've been building upon consistency. It built upon consistency. So let your dream make a change. You have a big dream. See her, see Dr. Smiley. She's right anytime she's down to earth. Those of us who are watching, go to her page and talk to her, brother. Let's get to Brother Dempster as we come to close. Today we have only 6 more minutes, and I think let me give you the time to close here. Brother Dempster is in Africa, but Brother Dempster, what do you think of there? How can people get to you? Probably from the Human Rights Civil Society group and different things that you're doing. What you think? How people can see you in Liberia, in Africa, and how can you really conclude today in this forum?
Okay, thank you so much, Reverend, and thanks, Dr. Swally, for the our first engagement, public engagement. And I think this discussion have been healthy, and the outcome is something that I think we can take out. And while we still be thinking to brainstorm and find new ideas as a platform on this forum to make sure that we contribute to the world need. I'm in Africa, but I'm globally moving around. I just returned from the U.S. After a historic award and recognition by the California State Assembly for the work I've done, my global human rights work. My work is out there. The interventions I make, they are out there. I'm a people's person. I'm an advocate. I speak for people. As an incoming lawyer, I'm going to be representing a lot of people when it comes to anything that has to do with litigations and, of course, maybe negotiation and other process as well. But as a human rights expert, I play a role that make my work visible. So it's easy to find me, and I'm on WhatsApp, on social media, very active as well. As I speak to you right now, by next week, I'll be traveling to Paris to attend the World Congress on the abolition of the death penalty, where I'm going to be speaking because it's one of the projects I'm working on, that Liberia should abolish the death penalty, because there is nowhere in the world that death can replace death. If I was caught up in killing another person, if you kill me, we not bring that person who has died. So there are different remedy under international human rights standards that you can punish people rather than taking life for life. So I'm going to go to Paris to attend the World Congress on the abolition against the abolition of the death penalty. So that's one area. Also, I'm going to have a lot of connection with global people leaders and other activists, government, and other international groups as well. But back in Liberia, I'm a voice, I'm a leader, and I remain a simple person because I serve humanity. So my life is attached to the people. So I'm a people's person. I have no bureaucracy when it comes to integrating me and getting to me. So these are things. I'm the head of the Civil Society Human Rights Advocacy Platform. It's a big network of a human rights organization that coordinates human rights across the country. And I work with diverse groups. I work with the government in terms of raising policy that will make the human rights situation on the ground. I work with the United Nations. I work with the EU and other foreign government to make sure that we promote human rights, we contribute to society in a positive way. So again, being on this good opportunity. So I just want to register that. Thank you so much, Mary.
Oh, thank you, Brother Benster. That's well said. It's why you are here. Thank you for being part of the forum. And for those of you who know me, you know me. Just anytime, just get to me. Get to the forum. Go to our website, www.community engagement.egm.org, and then probably maybe you can go down. You want to make a donation? Go down there. We are trying to look for something bigger, look for the office space that we need, because sometime in the future, right? A lot of guys will be coming to the state, and we have different meetings going on. We're going to be talking more about that. We need money to subsidize some things. We need our vehicle. We have a project, something we do. We call it the mobile pantry, and we need those things. And then you can be contacted. We have different things that we are doing on the business line. We don't want to talk about it here, but you can have a conference, or we can talk about how can we engage together. Meet us. Let's talk. Let's talk about partnership. It's easy. The forum is open. It's not about, well, just me. No, that's why we want to make it inclusive. That means have people who are credible, people who we can depend on. Tomorrow I may not be around. The forum will stay as is. The point there is what we're building is perpetual. It's not something that tomorrow, oh, Gabas is not around, so nothing can go on. So something got to be on the ground. And like me, I always tell people, let partner. That's the only thing. Husband and wife, if you can partner, you can fulfill. Community, no, to every level. So you got to partner together. You got to understand that, well, we can do it together to make a big difference in our society. So I want to thank all of us. I don't know where you are, but I want to thank you for following us. And I know that, well, it's good to be here with all the guests. Follow us, and let make a big difference. We can change the world and make the world a better place. So thank you. Thank all of you for coming at the forum. Like Dr. Smiley, Brother Dempster. We see you on the other side. Thank you again for entertaining our coming to this first section since you actually are becoming our senior advisor here on the affairs of Africa. So thank you, Dr. Smiley, for accepting our invitation and also being part of the forum. And we welcome you on the trade investment. Thank you, and with all your expertise, we think we can make a big difference. God bless you. Until we see you again, the next time we talk from here. So thank you and thank all of us. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so
God
much.
bless you.